I were an energy vampire right now, I would just...
I love that.
Thank you all for coming out. We have an amazing lineup tonight. I'm going to give it over to our MC in just a minute, Denise Winkelman. She's pretty freaking amazing. She knows her stuff. But I wanted to thank you for coming out. If you need to use the restroom, it's right back there. I think it's a non-binary restroom.
Yes, it is.
If, please respect the 2 items. Order 2 things, get full, get married, let's have some fucking fun. In case of fire, we're all close, so just kiss your ass goodbye. Here's Denise Winkelman.
Yes, everyone, keep it going for yourselves. We're going to move the stool because at this age I could trip and fall. And yes, guys, we are going to have a blast tonight, so thanks for coming out. Woo! Woo! And yes, I do have a mirror. And I chose to wear this. Thank you all so much. And, I dreamed my entire life of looking like this. Just way better. Guys, when I looked in the mirror when I was a kid, I didn't dream of being a playboy, looking like a Playboy bunny that got fucked too hard. Or Draco Malfoy with tits. As a trans woman, I transitioned just to piss J.K. Rowling off. I wish I had one of their spells memorized. I'd be like, just grow, motherfuckers. Oh, shit. And guys, I am bougie as fuck. Actually, I'm bougie on a budget. And when I say on a budget, there's no fucking budget. It's just me literally spending every dime I have on ridiculous things like tits. And guys, I am so bougie, I buy the fanciest Botox in all of North Hollywood from a taco truck in a park. Don't ask me where because it's a secret. Holy shit, guys. I wish that wasn't true. And the thing about buying Botox on a discount, it's like we're in a park with a bunch of broke-ass actresses, looking like we're all like junkies trying to get a fix. Like, fuck yeah, man, I'll suck your dick for some Botox. I don't even suck dick. But I would for Botox. Oh, shit, guys. And I have made a firm commitment to dating again. Thank you. Because I am so good at it. And when I say I'm good at it, I'm fucking terrible at it. Holy shit. And my problem is I just fall in love with straight girls. Anybody else? Anybody else have this problem? I just think it comes down to I have amazing straight-dar. I mean, even now, my straight-dar is going ping, ping, ping. And when I say that, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room is straight. I have some questions. expect to be invited to the wedding. I guess, but, and I'm so smooth with approaching women. I mean, I'm so confident. I could be in the Hall of Fame for dating. If the Hall of Fame just meant I struck out all the time. And when I say strike out, I mean never take a swing. There's nothing like slathering up to a girl at a bar, leading with my best pickup line, like, hey girl, your eyes are beautiful. They look just like an eclipse. But you have no fucking soul. Are we going to the bedroom now? Is that fine, I'll buy your boyfriend dinner. Oh my God. And I moved to LA like 2 weeks before the pandemic started. I know. And I quit my job to do it, so at least there was a plus side. And I grew up in northern Minnesota, which is like a cold version of hell. It's like the Alabama of the north. So imagine when I told my family that I was going to transition and become a woman. That went over swimmingly, just like in this room. And my parents are so nice, but my mama was so confused. She was like, oh, Denise, like, you should have just went to that conversion camp when you had the chance. We was gonna pray your dick back on. Helped you with that thing. You even won awards like biggest hog in the county fair. And my dad, he was just like really quiet and just kind of nerdy, but like every now and then he would just pop out. He was kind of like John Lithgow in Third Rock from the Sun. You know, where he was an alien. Like all of a sudden my dad would just be like, and look in the mirror and be like, good God, I'm gorgeous! So I'm trying to say it just runs in the family. Like if you ever see me in a mirror, you just might hear me not so quietly say, I'm gorgeous! For Draco Malfoy. Oh my God. And guys, I did work in the corporate world for a long time. Anybody else? Anybody else work in the corporate world? Doesn't it suck? I was just at a different place in my life than a lot of those people. I really was. I would go into work on a Monday morning with sunglasses because I had a migraine, or one too many mimosas at lunch, and I would see Boring Bill, the guy who sat next to me. I'm pretty sure that was his name. And he would want to tell me about his weekend. He'd be like, hey, I watched Frozen 2 for the 5th time on Blu-ray. I'd be like, well, fuck, guy. Whatever your name is, Bill. I had a bottomless mimosa brunch and I hooked up with a random bartender, but tell me about your weekend, fucker. Guys, you all are fantastic. We are going to have a wonderful night. Let's keep it going. My name is Denise Winkelman, everyone. And I will be your host. And please welcome our first comedian coming to us from Idaho, the very funny James Russell, everyone.
It's so interesting you described Minnesota as the Alabama of the North. Because being from Idaho, I say Idaho is the south of the North. So I think we have that in common. I was bullied a lot for my nose growing up, which is weird to me because I always thought that I had a fairly normal nose, but the kids must have kind of sensed weakness because they saw my nose and thought that I looked like someone who'd been in a lot of fights and lost every single one of them. But they didn't see the other guy, man, because the other guy, he was completely messed up, in shock at how well I blocked with my face. And my wife is from Brazil, and I was very ignorant about Brazilian women before marrying her because I always thought that they were just like taking selfies on the beach in a thong or shooting blow darts at capybaras in the jungle, and somehow I married a woman that does both. And it was hard when we got married because she moved in and she had a lot of stuff. So she moved in, all her stuff. She had all her stuff in the closet. She took up all the space under the bed. She tried to move her shoes into the doghouse, and I said, no, that's where I go when I'm in trouble. Stay out of there. And it's also weird to me that now we're married, we have to make these big financial decisions, and we have to like share our financial information. I wasn't raised that way. You know, that's private. Keep that private. And now we have to make these big financial decisions together. It becomes this demented game of go fish. I'm like, okay, Joyce, tell me, do you have any savings? Nope, go fish. James, do you have a 401k? Yes. Okay, that one didn't land. I changed that last minute. And it was an error. But it is hard to have any kind of an argument with my wife because she's a very passionate person, so she's easily moved to tears. So, you know, anytime we get in any kind of a fight, just immediate waterworks. She's just like, I don't think that it's fair. And I just asked if I could change the channel. So, I am bipolar, and it's a mental health disability where you have these manic highs and depressive lows. And it's embarrassing to travel because I have to take my medication with me. And they're in my backpack, so every step through the airport sounds like the saddest pair of cowboy spurs. It's like, and then the TSA guy always takes out all my shit for everyone to see, so they can see my antipsychotics, my antidepressants, my sleeping pills. It would be less embarrassing to be caught with a dildo and a ball gag. Sir, is this yours? Yep, that's mine. That is mine. Pegging is good for the prostate. Other pegging fans, excellent. Yes. It's also embarrassing if you have to tell someone that you're bipolar. You know, I told my dad, and I sat him down, and I said, Dad, I want you to know that I am bipolar. Well, you better be a top, because I didn't raise no bottom for a son. Do you think that I'm saying I'm bisexual? All I know is I'm not replacing that USA flag with a rainbow flag. No, Dad, I am bipolar type 1. It is a mental health disability. Son, it's 2022. Even I don't think being bisexual is a disability. So I work in the hotel industry, and that is hard when you're bipolar, because you deal with a lot of angry people, man. They just want to drag you down. Yeah, someone else knows the struggle. They just want to drag you down, so I have to be an optimist about it, you know? So like, I deal with one angry person, and I'm like, it's okay, my day off is tomorrow. I deal with another angry person, it's okay, my vacation is in a month. I deal with another angry person, I'm like, it's okay, I can piss in their breakfast order. Never fuck with people that take your food orders. Never. It is harder, I think, when you're bipolar than for my normal coworkers, right? Because if I flip out on an angry on a customer and I get angry, then I'm perpetuating that stereotype that people with mental illness are dangerous. But then if my normal coworkers do it, they get to go viral on World Star TikTok. It's like, they get famous before I do. And I really don't like that stereotype that people with mental illness are dangerous. I don't like that that's out there, you know, even though when I was young, I once murdered my bank account. I know I don't look it, but there was an online sale for Hello Kitty and I went on a rampage. But you know, the fact is that people with mental illness are like 5 to 10% of all. Hello? Am I being played off? How does That's the worst played off song I've ever had. But hey, put that on the Oscars, people will actually want to leave. Where was I? So, Hello Kitty, yes, thank you. So people with mental illness are 5 to 10% of all violent crime. But all you ever hear is you're a mentally ill person punches subway rider. You never hear that framing to the 90 to 95% of other violent crime, right? You never hear angry man punches cashier when they ran out of ice cream. It was normal, I don't know. Drunk woman punches flight attendant. She was a Karen. Okay, that one also didn't land. Interesting. I'm going to end on that note because I think I'm running the light. Thank you.
Keep it going for James Russell. Let's keep it going for his dad, too. Can we just switch parents? Because I had to explain what trans was to my parents. They still don't understand it. They will still tell their neighbors, I have never, we don't know any LGBTQ people.
Minnesota for you.
Yeah, there we go. Just Draco Malfoy rotates. I'm going to keep going back to that. So guys, are we ready for our next comedian?
Yes!
Our next comedian is the reason we're all here tonight. They are producing this show. They are a non-binary preacher's kid. They're very funny. Lyz Tory, everyone.
One day, I'm going to be able to pay people to give me compliments. One day. How's everyone doing tonight? It's so wonderful to see beautiful people live, laughing at things, talking shit. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for coming to see these amazing comedians. Give them one more applause. Can I make a confession to you? I just like telling y'all to do things in the Sir, I'm going to need you to dance on the table for me. Yes! Maybe I take it too far. Do not adjust your glasses. Yes, I have on heels. Yes, I have on makeup. Yes, I have on a dress. But I am not a January 6th rioter hiding out. Those sons of bitches had a problem with us until they needed to hide out as us. Pull a Bugs Bunny! Pull a Bugs Bunny! Yeah. I am non-binary. I come out in wigs and glasses, and I'm always looking weird, and that's okay. Being non-binary, what does that mean? Well, I'm gender fluid. What the fuck does that mean? Shit! Okay, so some days I wake up and I can't find the G-spot. I think it's like a unicorn, a myth. It's not real. And then some days I wake up and I'm a raging bitch! I couldn't even keep a job at the freak show because I can only be a bearded lady part-time. Man, my life sucks. I go by they, them. I prefer they, them because you never tell. And then people close to me, they'll call me he or she, and I'm okay with that because those days they can tell I'm masculine, or those days they can tell I'm feminine. I'm just fucked up. So yeah, there we go with that. Where I come from, I expected them not to take it, I expected them to refuse my pronouns, and some of them did, and that's okay. I really love when people say, what do you mean by they, them? I thought they was plural, meaning more than one. And my answer is usually, okay, you basic bitch, you never read Shakespeare. Because Puck was a they, them. So are you a fairy? Sometimes. And then there are those people that purposefully label you the wrong pronouns. Now, a lot of people make noise, and I'm so proud of them for making noise because they should be respected and they should be called what they want to be called.
Yes.
I don't correct people because I don't give a fuck what they think about me. Call me what you want. We're just here for this time. Where I come from, I was a Lee. Yeah. My dad was a Lee, and he insisted that I become a Lee. It was horrible. I hate the name Lee. If there's anyone that's Asian out there, I'm not trying to offend you. But where I come from, Lee is equated to like the Confederate flag and the General Lee and cousin butt fucking. Because you can't get your cousin pregnant in the front. You can in the front, but you go for the butt fucking. Duh. I am from Georgia. Yes, I am from Georgia. But my dad, he threw a fit. He was like, they've got to be called Lee. They've got to be called Lee. They've got to be called Lee. So I became Lee, and quick Southern fix for that is Little Lee and Big Lee. And all of my non-professional year, I was always Little Lee. So when I went back home, I had everybody in front of me just like this. And I stood my ground, and I was like, now's the time. I could feel my heart beating. Now's the time. I'm going to come out. I'm going to let them know. Y'all, from now on, I don't want to be called Little Lee. From now on, I am Lyz Tory. I came out. That's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for. But my bitchy Aunt Linda stood up and said, I don't know why you got to do this at your father's funeral. I said, well, if you don't want to call me Lyz Tory, then call me Livingly and him Deadly. They now call me Lyz Tory. It's all in the negotiations. I'm from Georgia, like I said. I know all of the anuses pucker out there. None of you are my cousins, so you're good. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that rumor came from. But when I was discussing it with my double first cousin at the prom, when we were there together, we were discussing whether we should or shouldn't. And I will tell you that I forgot where I was in the story. Sorry, can't tell you. Sorry. Has anybody ever been at a Southern church? You ever been to a Southern church? Oh, you'll never get that time back. If they're not dancing with snakes, they're catching the Holy Ghost. Oh my God. I reached up into the pulpit and I said, Paw! Aunt Linda's dying. And my grandfather was the preacher and he was like, no! She's not dying, she just caught the Holy Ghost! Oh my God. The lights were so bright. It was so oppressive. I felt like I was being abducted by aliens and I knew I was going to get my first improv. And then 3 more sons of bitches popped up behind me. Suck-a-dong, 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 dong, dong. I got the hell out of there. 1 star. Would not recommend going to church. No, thank you. I'm done with that. I come from a long line of spiritual conman of preachers. I come from a long line of preachers. My grandfather was a preacher. My dad was a preacher. He became a cult leader. My grandma could have been a preacher, but she didn't believe that women could spout fairy tales from the pulpit. Job killer. But so my take on religion is a little different than many people's. Maybe not now after what's going on. Yeah, religious rights. But anyway, religion in the South. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Here we go. Are you ready? I just messed up because, right up there as I was pulling in, there was like this old lady in a wheelchair, and she was pedaling herself. I was like, holy shit, that old lady must have been doing that for a long time. And then 2 cops just pulled up and snatched her out and threw her in the back of the car, and I was like, oh my God, what's happening in LA? I said, hey, why are you arresting that lady? And the cop was like, she was peddling pussy. She knows the law. That was my grandmother's favorite joke. When I went to her funeral, I told it. I came to the mic and I was like, there was an old lady out there and she was just arrested. She was in a wheelchair and she was just pedaling along. That was my grandmother's favorite joke. She told it to everyone. That was her icebreaker. So as I looked out in the crowd, I saw all of the grandchildren. Their eyes got really big. And I'm the crazy cousin. And I had the microphone. And I was like, yeah. Well, 2 cops just pulled up, snatched her up, threw her into the cop car. Everyone else in the room sat up, started paying attention to what was going on. Is he telling the joke? I heard a whisper. Is he telling what joke? You don't want to know the joke if you don't know the joke. Please tell me he's not going to say it. Please don't say it. Please don't say it. And then I said, and then they just threw her in the back of the car and I said, hey, officer, why are you arresting that lady? And it was about that time that I looked over to the preacher, and the preacher was sweating. He got up and, leaned over, and he was like, and for the first time in my life, after my grandmother was gone, my grandmother was a vaudeville actress. She was badass. And for the first time in my life, as I was watching this preacher shaking with me having the microphone, I knew my grandmother told her pussy joke to him. And I don't think it was consensual. Well, Edith, I know that we're trying to get everything together, but you look a little nervous. Are you okay? And my grandma was like, let me tell you a story. There was this woman on this bicycle. She was pedaling. And the preacher was reliving all of that PTSD right here, right now. My grandma was a badass. Maybe she should have been a preacher. Maybe I would have liked it a little more. 50 points if you lick it, still keep it. Now, when you make fun of Southern churches and people catching the Holy Ghost, they tell you you're going to hell. There's a lot of talk of hell in those heaven places. You're going to hell. Don't do that. You're going to hell. Don't do that. And then they preach about heaven and be like, yes, heaven, it's so great. It's got gold streets and mansions that everybody lives in. And when you see each other in heaven, you're like brother and sister. Heaven ain't for me. Gold streets turn green. Mansions, that's a lot of house to clean. And sometimes I get the urge to snort cocaine off of a dick. So, we created the purse. And when we see something we like, we put it in the purse, and that'll be there for us. I mean, if they can make up shit, then so can I. But if you think about it, they're fairy tales. Job, the guy that had everything going for him, remember? He had everything going for him, and he was praising God, and Satan was like, hey, if he didn't have all that luck, he wouldn't be praising you. And God was like, I'll take that bet. And Job lost everything. I know it's so sad, it's silent. That son of a bitch lost everything. Because God bet the devil, and you just can't beat the devil, apparently. But no, he kept praising him. Oh my God. You know what I'm thinking? Jesus went into the temple. He went into the synagogue. And they were gambling. And he flipped the fucking tables. He flipped the tables and was like, hey, no. And then God had Jesus killed. Because he didn't like betting, and God likes to bet. Son of a bitch. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it might be better to be pegged by Satan than fucked by God. Just saying. I'm going to leave y'all with a couple of words from my mom. She raised me and my brother all by herself. But she taught me one important thing over everything. Go for that happiness. Go for that happiness. If you're not happy, find the door and go for that happiness. She was married 4 times. The first one was my sperm donor. He didn't last long. The second one was the most toxic masculinity I've ever met in my life. And I judge people. Oh, that's like number 2. Fuck that. Number 3 was just bat shit crazy. I have to say it twice. He was bat shit crazy. Number 4 likes to record people from the bushes. And he thinks ancient aliens is a real religion. But he's just right. It's like the 3 bears, except it's the 4 motherfuckers. Thank you so much.
outside too. Guys, I checked, it's not the real Eminem. I would have listened to it. Holy shit, Lyz, you were, and give it up for Lyz, not because she doesn't give a fuck what people think about her. My pronouns are she and her, and I care a lot.
Yes.
Of all the things I've bought on discount, the tits were full price. And when you pay full price for the tits, you care a lot about what other people think. Holy shit, guys. So let's welcome our next comedian to the stage. You can I have to read my notes. You can catch her in Strip Down, Rise Up on Netflix. The very funny Megan Gamble, everyone.
She probably was fooling around, but the fact that everybody believed she was a virgin, that's the miracle! And then when all the assholes were opposing gay marriage, she was like, Jesus was probably gay. I was like, why, Mom? Well, have you seen his body? It was totally ripped. He probably spent a lot of time at the gym. And he loved to travel. And he had 12 male apostles. And that slutty friend, Mary Magdalene, he hosted a lot of suppers, even the last one, and he spent most of the time on his knees. She wasn't really pushing Catholicism on me, and she knew a lot of gay stereotypes. She only ever had me watch 2 movies in my entire life. The first one, right after I got my wisdom teeth removed, Rosemary's Baby. Nothing like a psychological thriller where a woman gets raped by the devil surrounded by naked people to make you forget your own pain. If anything, I wanted to be an actor, not Catholic after that. And the second, Thornburns. It's a mini-series about a priest who has to choose between his love for this woman named Maggie and the Catholic Church. Right? And people often ask me, like, when did you know you weren't Catholic? And I was like, when I watched that mini-series. Because I would have chosen Maggie, not the Catholic Church. I'm bisexual, not Catholic. And here's the thing, the religion. It's fine. I just hate all the absurdities in it. So, like, I had a friend named Karen in college. That was her name. Her name was fucking Karen. And she said, you're not a true Catholic because you eat meat on Fridays during Lent. It's like, well, Karen, you also eat meat on Fridays. His name is Ronnie. Just for football practice. Can you imagine, like, God coming down and being like, oh, good job, Karen, on not eating meat on Fridays during Lent because global warming. Keep up with that fornicating before marriage. Don't be gay about it. So I am agnostic, not atheist. That's crazy. I still want to tell ghost stories. The greatest thing about my son being Jewish and going to a Jewish school is that my doctor's there. So I never have to make an appointment to just a drop off. I asked her all the questions. It's like, so is this gonna stay this way or is it just how much? And then the second best thing is that I don't have to deal with that elf on a shelf shit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, congratulations! You're winning at life. FYI, elf on a shelf is this elf sent from Santa to make sure your kids behave. So every night, parents have to cleverly reposition this creepy big brother elf. Right? In the morning, the kid will come down. Oh, look, Mommy, the elf got into all my Captain Crunch cereal. I hope he didn't eat it all. British kids are funnier. Got a package in the mail from my mother-in-law. Mensch on a bench. watch movies with my son. But my son does not watch movies. He watches documentaries. So every Friday night, there's an argument between two 40-year-olds and a 6-year-old over what to watch. We want The Incredibles. He wants The Lost Treasures of Egypt. Speaking of lost treasures, he will tell you that King Tut's penis went missing for 38 years. And it was mummified at a 90-degree angle. So an erect penis went missing for 38 years. Funny thing, it was right under the table where the mummy was. So the archaeologist must have been made up of my husband and the friends.
I don't know where the penis went. It's not my erect penis.
If I was there, I'd just be like, do something! My son wants to be an archaeologist, architect, paleontologist, music man. He'll tell you that when he discovers a new fossil, he will put on a concert. So clearly, a rock concert. He loves rocks, so he collects them. So all my LA friends have been getting him rocks with words on them. Like laugh, dream, believe. You can find them at any overwhelmingly spiritual gift shop near you. $35 a piece. One of my friends got him a rock that says sobriety. But you know what? So far it's working. 6 years in. We all have that one anti-vax friend we still talk to. I think she's on to something though, because I took my son to get his vaccinations, okay? And he was crying hysterically, and he's like, that was so much fun. Which leaves me to believe that vaccines cause sarcasm. My friend just had a baby. They named her Sophie. Wasn't her choice. I love bugs. Love them. One time I spent 42 minutes filming and editing a jumping spider in my basil plot while actively ignoring my son's pleas to play hide and seek because it had to be put to music. I mean, they are fascinating, but my favorite bug of all is the female dragonfly because she will fake her own death to get out of sex. She literally falls from the sky, lays dead on the ground until the male goes away. Another insect I love, which we all love, I think, is the female praying mantis. After unsatisfying sex, when the male ejaculates, she bites his head off. Fucking hero. Yeah. Even insects have been married too long. Did you know that Beverly Hills is the sister city of Cannes, France? Making Lancaster the sister city of you shouldn't go there. Oh my God. Oh, this is exciting. I got whistled at the other day. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Turns out it was my neighbor's parrot. Hashtag me too. Oh, God. So my son is a night owl and a hoarder. Apple doesn't fall far from the apple-shaped idea for the flux capacitor by standing on the toilet and falling off. So a few stitches later, I think he has made time travel possible. You guys, I write that joke 3 months from now, and it kills. My husband says I have a hard time letting go of my past. He uttered those words on a cold November day in 2009. If a man ever accuses you of not being able to let go of your past, just bring up his sports team's greatest defeat. Or the 1997 football trophy on his childhood desk that says runner-up.
We were almost state champs, it was a bad call.
Speaking of my past, I dated a guy in college that was so bad in bed that when I couldn't get naturally lubricated, he literally threw water at my vagina. What a douche. All right, I got the lights, so we're gonna skip stuff and it's not gonna make sense, but here we go. My son loves rock and roll. So much so that when he found out Jimi Hendrix was no longer living, it crushed him. He's like, but I'm never gonna get to see him play live. I was like, don't worry, buddy, no one's really ever seen him play live. John Lennon's Imagine came on and he asked if he was alive. I couldn't lie. But then he asked how he died. Then I lied. He was just loved so much by someone that he could no longer be here. Do you know what this fucking documentary kid did? He goes over to Google Assistant. Hey Google, how did John Lennon die? He was shot and killed by an obsessed fan who was inspired by the book Catcher in the Rye. Shut the fuck up, Google. Oh my god. We were reading about Buddy Holly, and he's like, how did he die? He just assumes at this point. I was like, he just needed to spread his song across the sky. Hey Google, how did Buddy Holly die? In a fiery plane crash. Not much of his body remained. Like, oh my god, fuck Google. Google is like that relative that has no filter that you don't want your kid around. Oh my god. He asked about Freddie Mercury. Yeah. Didn't hear what Google said, but I did hear, hey Google, what's AIDS? Well, just don't ask Ronald Reagan, kid. Don't ask Ronald Reagan. Oh my god. I'm gonna shorten that bit because of my life. But I will tell you this. I've been calling everything I do now self-care. So if anybody wants to buy me 5 shots of self-care after the show,
Keep up the Broken Gavel, everyone. I don't even have any snarky comments. I'm like, she was hilarious. And we're in Virtual. Are you all ready for our headliner tonight? She is a lesbian empty nester. She is hilarious. Very funny, Mary Huth.
Hello, everybody. Give it up for all the comics that went up before me. So funny, and give it up for yourselves for supporting live comedy. I mean, we could do it without you, but it would be a lot less fun, I think, probably. So, as Denise said, I am a lesbian empty nester. I have 20-year-old twin boys. I imagine I'm not that much different from your moms. I just prefer a dick you can rinse off and put in the dishwasher. Amen. Don't yuck my yum. I am a lesbian. My pronouns are she and carbs. I've been on a bit of a cheat decade. I'm gonna get back to it, I swear. I'm gonna get back to it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm also biracial. I am 1/2 Japanese, 1/4 German, and 1/4 Swedish. So I'm essentially like sashimi with a side of schnitzel. I mean, I am a human manifestation of a labradoodle. And I am Asian, but sadly, I am just white enough to be aging poorly. Every morning, I get up and my face is like some kind of jellyfish that washed ashore. I'm just watching it melt, you know? It's like so sad. So, my partner and I have been together for 28 years. I mean, she's put up with this shit for 3 decades. I think there's like some kind of Nobel Peace Prize or something she should be eligible for. But, you know, I always find it funny, you know, there's all this like relationship advice that you hear. And it always seems, I mean, some of it seems a little ridiculous to me. Like, my favorite one is do not let the sun set on your anger. I think that's a little cruel. Because how is she supposed to know just how pissed off I am if I let her go to sleep? So I actually find, from my experience, there are 3 immutable laws to maintaining a long-term relationship. The first one is very obvious and very simple. Find someone who enjoys performing oral sex. Like seriously, and you know, for the people who are rocking clitorises in the audience, I will tell you, find yourself a woodwind player. Like, preferably if you can find like the reeds, you know, like clarinet, oboe. My partner was a professional clarinetist. 28 years. You know, things slow down, but you gotta keep it interesting, so, yeah. And then, okay, so the second one, super easy, super quick, don't criticize the driving. Like, if you have to bite your freaking tongue until it bleeds, do not criticize the driving. Because you want to 100% guarantee you're gonna have a crappy time when you arrive? That's the way to do it. Okay, and then the last one is the most important, very simple. Say thank you, you know? I don't care if I put down a tuna fish and peanut butter casserole in front of you. Just say thank you, you know? Like, we do have a rule in our house. Like, if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but you must say thank you. You know, like, I'll give you an example. My partner loves Brussels sprouts, okay? I think they smell like farts. Because they do, right? I mean, actually, I will eat a Brussels sprout if it's fried. I mean, shit, I'd probably eat a dick if it was fried. So, like Megan, I'm a mom, and my children came out, and when they started breathing air, it was out of control. I mean, they had so much energy, you know, and I had to like run them like dogs to kind of bleed the energy out. And so we enrolled them in sports when they were about 3.5 years old, mostly so that I wouldn't kill them, you know. So they would play sports at 3.5 years old. So because the universe has a particularly perverse sense of humor, they are the most athletic butch jocks you have ever seen in your entire life, okay? And we are the highlight of my and my partner's days, like Wordle, you know? Like how many did it take you? 3, oh, Russia! Like, we are fucking nerds, you know what I mean? I've never been to to lose. The thing that you will come to realize rather quickly is the longer they win, the longer the fucking season lasts. So, you got your quarters, you got your semis, you got your finals. And if you win the finals, you know what happens? You have to take a rabid group of 10-year-olds to fucking Vegas. You know what I mean, I would fucking rather blow Mitch McConnell than go to Vegas. 10-year-olds again. And, we're like walking down the street and there's all these like strippers passing out like naked postcards. And you're like, they're going to be jacking off to those later, And then, my partner and I are like, listen, it's really bad to objectify women. Please don't do that. We're lesbians. It looks really bad, So, and then what also started happening, I'm not joking. My son was like nationally ranked in lacrosse when he was in middle school. Like, they were very, very good at sports. And what would start to happen is that, like, the other players would begin shit-talking our kids. They would put them down, and then their parents would do it too, like the opposing team's parents. I cannot tell you how many times I went through that. And you would hear shit like, I want to see that kid's birth certificate, because I know you're gonna find it really hard to believe my kids are big, but they're big and fast. That's the difference. Okay? I'm big and feeble. What I finally came to realize is that's a compliment, because it means they're scared of your kids. And with my kids, rightfully so. And, this is a little confession I'm going to make. It is like, no kidding, the best orgasm you have had in your entire life and a shot of heroin to your brain when your kid takes out the shit talker on the field. Oh my God. And like the most fucked up part about that whole thing is the difference between what was on my face and what I was thinking in my head. Because on my face, I was like, oh no, Tyler, I hope he's not hurt. And they're not moving on the field, And like, oh, buddy, shake it off, shake it off. Let the coach know if you get dizzy. And in my head, I'm like, you fucked around and you found out, didn't you? I mean, that is like just delicious. It's delicious. I am a bad person, okay? Just gonna tell you that right now. I am a horrible human being. So, I don't know, if you guys have noticed what's been going on lately, but a lot of politicians have been coming after gay parents, and they have accused us of being groomers. Like, we are grooming our children for sex. Now, some of you have seen my boys, but most of you haven't. But if you had, you would know they had never been groomed a day in their life. My kids leave the house looking like Steve Bannon with maybe one less shirt. Don't tell anyone who your moms are, okay? And then the other thing that happens is, on Twitter, people will come after me for being a lesbian mom. And also, another confession, I'm like, come at me, bro. I can handle a Twitter beef. There will be blood, it will not be mine, But, the thing is, it's kind of losing some of its fun when you realize how pathetically stupid these guys are. It's like, no, sir, misogynist is not spelled with a J. Sound it out with me. Misogynist, And, these are people who do not know the difference between which and which. There's different spellings. Which high school did you clearly drop out of? Maybe you call me out. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is a cunt! Well, we're on the stage. So, like to call the slums of Hancock Park. We are not in the fancy section. We are not next door to Shonda Rhimes. We are more of a Rose family in a Gelson's neighborhood, if that makes sense, you know. But because of our locale, my children had a lot of interaction with the offspring of celebrities. And that was fine. Celebrities are self-absorbed assholes, and so am I, clearly. So I got along with these people. All of that went out the window when my son started playing football with the son of Christopher Maloney. Now, some of you know who he is, and some of you may not. I'll give you a hint. In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. Christopher Maloney plays Sergeant Elliot Stabler on Law & Order SVU. I had a thing for him forever. He's like the daddy of all daddies, right? So you know, like my son, you know, and I lost my mind. And I couldn't figure out, like, I am a lesbian. That's what I kept telling myself. You are a lesbian. What is the problem? It just turned out that I was powerless against that man's ass. And it's like two perfect Maloney's just nestled in his package. You know? And then my son is like 12, darling boy, you know, curly ringlets, blonde, comes up to me, he's like, Mommy! Mama, you want to meet the guy from your program? The program, you watch the program all the time. You want to meet him? Oh my goddamn Tadashi. Do not bring Sergeant Elliot Stabler over here. There's orange slices and Gatorade, I'm leaving. You know, and it occurred to me, like, why I was flipping out so much. I mean, I was like shaking, you know, it's so weird. And I realized that if I ever met that man face to face, he would very easily be able to suss out all of the perverted fantasies I had and my secret non-lesbian percentage of my brain with Christopher Maloney, and I would end up like a perp on SVU. I wish. No. That did not happen. So my boys are wrapping up their summer. They're home for the summer. Yay. You know, and I have been doing their laundry just like I dreamed of when I was a little girl. But, like, the thing of it is, I've been finding all of this, like, random girls' clothing in my son's laundry. I did mention that my partner and I have been together for 28 years, so we are not thong lesbians. If I find a thong, it is not from one of us, you know? We are more granny panty kind of lesbians. So, I'm getting, you know, I don't know if he's a serial killer or a player, but I am tired of doing these bitches' clothing, you know? Doing their laundry, I'm sorry. And then, like, the other thing is every freaking afternoon around 2 o'clock, I get the same question. Mom, what's for dinner? Mom, what's for dinner? I'm like, you have a fucking car and an ATM card. Why am I still responsible for this? You're 20 years old, you know? If I wanted some dude on my ass about making dinner every night, I would have been a heterosexual, you know? Where is my lesbian privilege? Where is it? I don't know, you know? And so you know, they got really excited too when the new Tom Cruise movie came out. We had to see it in the IMAX, and we had to see it when it first came out. Maybe it's because I'm gay, not too impressed. Okay? To me, it seemed like a 2-hour Tom Cruise Cialis commercial. Ask L. Ron Hubbard if Cialis might be right for you. Thank you for getting that joke. You know, and like, do you remember the original love interest was Kelly McGillis, right? Super beautiful actress, tall drink of water. A couple fun facts. Kelly McGillis is 5'10" tall. Tom Cruise is 5' Frodo Baggins. I don't know who carried around the stepladder during the filming of that movie, but somebody did. And the second fact is that Kelly McGillis is now a lesbian. She's on my team. underneath her Subaru repairing it. And then Kelly McGillis would just emerge like a lesbian grease monkey, you know? Interestingly enough, lesbian grease monkey is my favorite Pornhub category. It's kind of narrow, not a lot of clicks, but self-care is so important. Anyway, like a lesbian grease monkey, she emerges, and they lock eyes, and he decides to finally come out of the closet. Some people may know about that rumor. And then he and whatever's left of Val Kilmer just ride off into the sunset. You know? And then it would lead to the obvious sequel, which is, you know, Tom Cruise's Top Bottom. Oh my gosh. Oh. Anyway, you know, like there's some other things I've noticed, that there are things that one like only hears in Los Angeles, you know? One of them is, somebody actually said this to me, I manifested that parking space. You did? Is your vision board just filled with like convenient parking? Is that it? It's like time to level up, dude, you know? The other one that is like my favorite, and if I offend people, you're probably never gonna see me again, so. You know, like somebody said this to my face and they were serious, and thank God she's not here, but she said, I am an empath. I'm like, are you really, Fancy Nancy? You know? It's always the people that are like not so empathetic, you know, that, you know, say those kinds of things. And, you know, that just like seriously drives me crazy. But anyway. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave you with this. You know, you may not be able to tell it by looking at me, but I am a lady who has had 2 dicks in her at the same time. It's true. Don't assume, okay? Now, it was for 9 months. Again, to repeat something someone else said earlier, 0 stars. I do not recommend it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight, and thank you, Lyz, for putting this incredible night together. And laughter is medicine. So anyway, I'm so grateful for everybody. Thank you.
It's an adventure getting from back there. It's like, fuck out of the way, come on! Thank you all so much for coming out. These comedians were so fucking talented. Give it up for us! So next month we are bringing in Justin Longcore, that's some deaf guy. That will be October the 6th at 7:30 again. Y'all have a wonderful night. Tip your waitress and go home. Do some butt stuff, but not just cutting.